I'm back in Fortuna, California. We're going to do the reverse of the trip I did to get here. And on that trip I said I should have started in Corvallis to show point to point. So this is where I start in Fortuna. And it's actually it's a warm, clear day. I thought it was going to be cold and dismal. It's December in Humboldt County. But it's doing okay. And you know, before a trip there's always a little bit of anxiety. And there's a discomfort on the trip, but you know, I'm doing okay. Just sitting here waiting for the bus to go to Martinez. Like in a lot of smaller towns, the Amtrak stop is just outside of a business, in this case outside of a restaurant, which looks like a nice restaurant. I wish I had more time to go in and eat. And so the bus starts in Arcata, it stops in Eureka here in Fortuna. There are other flag stops, I think, but you have to request those when you buy your ticket. And then it'll stop once more in Garberville, then it'll go down, and the main part of the route is in, you know, Santa Rosa onto Martinez. But here it's just stopping in these little few small towns. Right now we're stopped in Garberville, which I slept through on the way up. Garberville is in the south of Humboldt County. It's kind of the end of the redwood forest. There's still redwoods south of here, but this is kind of the end of the redwood forests. And it's a small town about the size of Rio Dell. And I've been here once or twice. Not much to say about it. Well, let me make a correction to that. There's actually quite a lot to say about Garberville, just not on this trip where I'm just, you know, here for 2 or 3 minutes. I visited before. It has great river access and it has an interesting history. But today, this is all we're going to see. Also, it got really foggy. And this fog will probably burn off as we get into Mendocino County and then further into the Bay Area, but for now, this is Humboldt County in December. So, we're getting back on 101. And in that direction is the Eel River, and we might be able to see some of it, but as you can see there's a lot of fog, so maybe not for a while. Okay, getting on the freeway. The Mendocino County line, which is also a Willie Nelson song. This is Willits, California. Just a brief stop, and we're still in the middle of a lot of fog here. It went away for a while, but now we're back to the fog. Our bus is parked back in Ukiah, just like it was on the trip up. No fog here. Trip down, which, you know, I just have records of sections of it, go through a lot of small towns, go up and down, and now we've kind of reached the valley, like I said, north side of the Bay Area. And you know, on a map I can look at it, but when I'm taking this trip, it just kind of seems like it's kind of like this dream state of going through so many different places. But now, not in a dream state, but reality, I need some food. Time to get back on the bus. Between here and Martinez, we'll be going through urban and suburban areas. A little bit less enchanting for me, and stuff I also showed on the video going up. And we should be getting there like just before 6, so it'll probably be dark by then. Now we're kind of stuck in traffic in Santa Rosa. Not too bad though. So the bus has slowed down now that we're in more typical freeway type traffic. So I'm back in Martinez, outside of the Amtrak station. It's actually 6 p.m. right now. Not too late, but it is December. If I was here in summer, even in spring, it'd be a pleasant, balmy San Francisco Bay day. So what I recorded, it was kind of a blur, which is accurate. You know, this morning I woke up in a rural, isolated area, probably FAR 2 or FAR 3. And now I'm in a global metropolis, a global megapolis. So, you know, and when that happened, it's really hard to say, you know. Looking out the windows at some trees, and then I'm in the middle of shopping malls and sprawl. And now I have about 4.5 hours here. And I'm going to walk around Martinez. And it's kind of one of those things where I'm encumbered, have my baggage, kind of tired because, you know, I've been cooped up. So it's not really the ideal time to see this city. But also, I would get really impatient just sitting there for 4 hours. So let's see what we can see. So when I was here ages ago, about a week ago, I walked down this road and I said, well, it's a cold Thursday morning. Now it is a still cold Thursday night, and you can see the lights out. There are people dining in these restaurants that I'm not showing, but the outdoor dining is not active. But the area is active, especially, you know, it is December. This is a bus stop. I'm in the Bay Area, and it's still not late at night. Like I said, it's only 6 o'clock. If I was more ambitious, you know, I could take a train or a bus like to Oakland and hang out in Jack London Square. And if I would have thought about it, maybe I would have arranged my trip that way. On the other hand, I'm kind of tired, and that seems to be a bridge too far. But I'll keep that in mind in the future, because that might be a more fun place to wait than just walking down dark streets of Martinez in winter in December. Did I mention it was December? Because it is. Incidentally, even though I've been to Martinez many times, and I've had to wait many times, I mostly just stayed a couple blocks from the station. So the last time I was here on the trip here, that was the first time I went even that far from town, and now I've gone further. You know, just because I want to see something new. And the reason for that is most times I've been here, I've been really tired and encumbered, so I just stayed close to the station or went to the waterfront near the station. And now I'm seeing the rest of Martinez. So one thing about Martinez is, at least around this time of year, it's pretty festive. A lot of lights up. The two ingredients for a healthy life. So as is often the case, I was in the charming downtown, quieter streets, and then I walked for a while, and now I'm in the low glow, which it is what it is, but you know, not as relaxing to walk along. And also, I might have mentioned it's December, cold, dark, so I walked about half an hour just to see what I could see and to tire myself out so that I won't mind sitting at the train station and waiting. So yeah, this is Martinez at night. So good thing to know, there is a free bus that runs down this road to the Martinez Amtrak station, and I could have gotten on it if I would have known it would have been there at just this time. One just passed me by, but also since one of my goals is to kill time, that doesn't make sense. But if you are an Amtrak traveler and you are in Martinez, that's a good thing to remember. This is the 30Z Hercules bus, and none of the other buses have a Z after them. So I think that's actually like a mnemonic of some sort. So now I know two things that rhyme with Hercules: 30Z and work with these. And in other news, I'm back at the Martinez Amtrak station. I've used up 1 hour of my 4. And there is one other place I want to see, which is there is a marina and a park here, but it might close at dusk, in which case I'm just going to come back here and chill out. Well, the park appears to be open. I haven't seen any sign that it's closed. Still, you know, I'm a stranger, tired. Maybe not the best place to be wandering around in the dark. So I'm going to go a little bit further, and then I'm going to turn around and go back to the train station and wait. Well, somewhere down that road is the marina, and I don't really know if I have anything to say about the marina in the dark. And this is the park. Really, I've been here before, and it's a really nice park on a warm summer afternoon, but that's not this. So I've probably tired myself out enough that I can go back and wait, like I said I was going to. One final note about the train station before I go inside is this is a multimodal station where long distance trains all the way to Chicago meet with local buses. And it's interesting how every city does that a little bit different. You know, and I've talked about that in Portland, Eugene, Vancouver, Washington, and then here in the Bay Area in San Jose. And it doesn't seem like it has a really rich assortment of buses, but there are some. And as of now, I don't think the BART comes here, but I think in the future it might. So it is multimodal, but not as much as, say, Duridan is. Right now, it's about 10:30 at night. My train was scheduled to arrive and leave at about this time. It's 15 minutes late, or at least it's supposed to be 15 minutes late. And so I'm just waiting out here on the platform. Station's still open though, so not a terrible wait, but you know, I have been waiting for a while, so I'm looking forward to getting on the train. And all of the commuter trains, you know, the ones that are just going from Sacramento to Oakland, they've all stopped, so it's just us out here waiting for the Coast Starlight going north. I successfully boarded the Coast Starlight there's a lot of people getting on in Martinez, so I didn't, you know, record. It was kind of busy. And now I'm in the lounge car. We're crossing the bay. And next stops are Davis and then Sacramento. And I'm probably going to be going to sleep pretty quickly. It's been a long day. We pulled out of Sacramento. I'm getting ready to fall asleep in the lounge car. I like sleeping in the lounge on like a little bank of 3 seats like that. And I was just thinking, you know, I like to quote Nos. There's a Nos quote, but I don't think I... Also out there we've got the moon, and it's on its side. It's a half moon on its side, which happens sometimes. Okay, returning to the attempt to sleep. It's Dunsmuir. It's 5 a.m. I'm actually asleep as I'm recording this. It's also cold out there. Right now we're parallel to Highway 97, just south of the Oregon-California state line going towards Klamath Falls. It's getting light out. It'll be light by the time we get to Klamath Falls, I believe. There's some good scenery after that. So the water here is frozen solid. Temperature outside is about -15 Celsius or 5 Fahrenheit. Much colder on this side of the Cascades. And it's really foggy today too. This is Klamath Falls. As usual, I'm just jumping right off. And it's cold here and there's a lot of people. It's more cold than I thought it was, so I'm going to just jump right back on. This is Lake Klamath Lake, and right now it's mostly frozen over, but there is some open water. And then in the distance, that is Mount McLaughlin, one of the many volcanoes in the Cascades, and maybe the one that we'll have the best view of. We have a solar panel farm here.
30 to go.
Don't know if that's just generating electricity in general or if that's maybe for a specific facility. And it might seem silly now in the middle of winter, but this area gets a lot of sunshine in summer. So I think that this line of rocks in the distance is around Crater Lake, and then that's Mount Scott. But unfortunately our view is somewhat obscured right now, but it's spectacular. So over there, this very jagged mountain that's hiding by the trees, this is Mount Thielsen. Very eroded, hard volcano. This is actually the best sighting I've had on this route for a while. I've taken this train before, but I have a very clear day now. A lot of trees in the way though. I mean, the trees aren't in the way, they are the way. So hopefully I continue to take good views. This is Humboldt. You know, I think I say the same thing whenever I go through Humboldt. A lot of snow here today. Beautiful, but goodness gracious, I would not want to get trapped here and have to wait 24 hours for a train. And over there you can see snow plows moving stuff around. And if this is snow here, we still haven't really started our climb up the mountain, so we'll see more snow soon. There is Odell Lake. And already the trees have gotten thicker. We're out of the ponderosa forest and we're in more like of a probably predominantly Douglas fir forest here. And there's a lot of snow and a lot of trees.
Now, I may not have passed physics, but I don't think that checks out.
Nice. Oh, is that my voice? Maybe you're like actually my springboard to internet fame. A lot of snow in those trees.
A lot of snow in those trees.
This is awesome, but also kind of scary. Also, we have a lot of people and we're having a lot of fun in here. Trust me. Another tunnel. Waterfall on your left.
What? Oh. I don't know which way to go. I missed the waterfall.
I feel a little disenchanted by the reflections on the window. Take pictures, the answer is with no headlights, no nothing. I would sit down and think hard. Like
So we're out of Oak Ridge, close to Lowell. And this is a reservoir, and the reservoir is down. That's what's going on here. All of it's a reservoir. You can see the reservoir is just down right now.
Okay. You mean to say the reservoir is brown right now without water?
Yeah, it's without water. That's why you can only see the river part of it. But see the flat part on the other side?
Yes.
That would normally be covered with water. I believe that's what's going on.
First call, 1245.
And so we're going into Lowell and going into Eugene.
What was that?
It's pretty warm out, I think, by now. I'm going to be home soon. And much like we saw in Sweet Home, this is another one of the dams created along the Willamette to hold back for flood control. And much like the one in Sweet Home, it's also kind of out of sight. Look at, I'm only 1,000 feet away and it's hard to see. It's hidden by the trees. So there is a lot of improvements to the Willamette, but they're mostly concealed.
all the way. Tickets out, please. Hello.
The Eugene, Oregon station. I've been here and I've been to Eugene many times. And I feel like I'm almost home. Just one more stop to go. Eugene is always nice, but right now my focus is on back in Albany. Just got off the coast Starlight. It's a little bit late, but doesn't really bother me. And I'm going to go over there to look for a bus to Corvallis, which hopefully won't be too long. So my train was a little bit late, which means it's a little while to wait for the bus, and that means milkshake. Okay, I'm kind of cheating. I just realized I came home and I was so happy to get off the bus. I just went right home and took a shower. So I didn't this is kind of like faking because I've already finished my trip. Anyway, so on this trip, this is Corvallis. Very nice to be back. You know, this second video might have just seemed like a blur, and that's kind of on purpose because that's what I wanted to capture. You know, like all these places in rapid succession that all look very different are kind of a blur. And even though they seem very separate, and sometimes like my focus jumped around, I spent a lot of time walking around in Martinez in the dark. Part of that is, well, I mean, you know, these are all places that are very important to me, so in my life, they all add up. And hopefully some of that came across, but I do know it's kind of a blur. It was a long trip. Hopefully some of these videos will work for somebody, but now it's time to really go home.